Pudgy.
Hey, Zuby.
How's it going?
Great.
How was you had an anniversary.
First anniversary.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it was great. We, we've both been super busy and been traveling a lot, and we went
Both having multiple affairs, right?
Yeah. No. But we took our friends, Clay and Elizabeth, to a concert a couple weeks ago or a week ago. And they were like, "What are you doing for your anniversary?" And we were like, "Yeah, I don't know. Like, we're just so tired and we're, just beat up." And they have a house in Palm Springs, and they were like, "Just go. Why don't you go out to Palm Springs? Like, go use our place."
What an awesome offer.
So, yeah. And we brought the dogs, and it was just beautiful. It wasn't like too hot, but it was still, it was in the 90s. It was still Palm Springs, and this beautiful little neighborhood. Took the dogs to the park, and just kind of like, Mackenzie's much better at this than me. She wants nothing on the agenda. She's like, I just want to be here. And like our first night, I was like, "Should we go grab a drink? Like, there's this place that we've been that's like kind of walking distance." And she's like, "Can't we just like be here?" And I was like, "Yeah, all right." So like that's for the most part what we did. We went out for dinner for our anniversary, and that's the one time we sort of went out without the dogs. And for the rest of it, we were sitting around. We did. We were like, let's just watch a movie that first night, and we started watching The Substance, which is not
terrible choice.
Super romantic.
0.0 is the grade you got for that decision.
And then we got tired, so we only watched the first half of it. And the next day in the afternoon, we were like, well, let's finish this movie. It's really, yeah. Neither of us had seen it, and I sort of had intentionally not been like watching any trailers or things, and it was a real gross out.
It's a real gross out. Great movie.
Yeah.
Rose Byrne is in a wonderful new film called "If I Had Legs, I Would Kick You," and I had a link to it because she was on my show, and then Alexi was like, "Oh, can we watch it together?" And I was like, "It's not for before bed." You know what I mean? Like these, it's we're at the point where like sleep is too precious to us as parents of three. I'm like, that can't be the reason you can't fall asleep.
Yeah,
you've already got 3 reasons we can't fall asleep. You can't add a movie. We got a perfect. There was not that you'd know on the West Coast, but there was a lot of talk of like a nor'easter. And so in the end,
huge. Storm here right now.
Oh, well, I take it back.
Tough guy. So yeah,
I take it back. And but it ended up on ours, by the way. It didn't end up being that bad. But it was a rainy Saturday, and we decided to watch a movie. We've been showing the boys baseball movies. They watched The Sandlot. They watched Rookie of the Year. And it's interesting because all it takes is they watch a little bit of baseball and they want to go out and hit wiffle balls all day. Yeah. Which is, of course, a dream come true for me. Sure. Genuinely. I say that with no exaggeration. But the other day, Alexi was like, we should watch A League of Their Own. A League of Their Own is so good.
Yeah.
Also, Alexi and I both basically just cried for 2 hours. Every moment. There are so many moments of humanity and people finding their best selves and sports and
there might not be crying in
goosebumps.
baseball, but there is definitely crying in A League of Their Own.
And there's so much laughing. The crying in baseball thing made the boys laugh so hard.
Yeah.
Addie was a little different. An hour into it, she just got off the beanbag and goes, "Can I watch a Peppa Pig on your iPad? Because this is a little boring."
Oh. Yeah. Well, Peppa Pig brings the fire.
But the boys, it was so good. John Lovitz shows up as a baseball scout and is literally just crushes to audiences of all ages. Yeah. But it's great.
Real quick, just as a sort of closing departure thing on our anniversary weekend, we were like, we should, like, they've got all these cool cactuses in their yard and these like just cool plantings. And so we were like, well, let's take some, pictures before we leave, like try to get like a portrait of all of us. So I set up my phone on this little tripod and we take these pictures. I don't know if any of them are good because as we're leaving, I bump into a cactus.
Great.
And then I hit my hand on my shoulder, and then I have cactus needles all in my hand, and we have to go inside and find tweezers, and Mackenzie's pulling them out of me, and they're so small that so many of them you can't see. And then like for the whole drive home, I'm like grabbing the steering wheel and like, I'm getting poked, or one of the dogs sort of crawls up and sits on the center island thing, and I go to pet them, and then like I just keep getting poked. Mackenzie has some in her. It was the absolute last thing we did before we like hit the clicker to close the gate and get out of there. And
I mean, it's also absolutely what you deserved.
Why do I deserve it?
When you're like, hey, we're about to go, should we get a family portrait next to the cactuses? Give me a break.
These dogs have been... These dogs
What? Tell me about the dogs.
They've been walking around these cactuses the whole time, sniffing, loving it. I've been walking around the cactuses. I haven't bumped into them yet. You turn into a Cheech and Chong character, giving me a hard time about it.
I'm sorry, man. Give me a break, man. Don't take a picture by the cactus, man.
I didn't bump into it in the photo. I was walking to the car, stepping over a hose.
I mean, hopefully listeners of this podcast will know that I think cactuses are nature's way of saying, go elsewhere.
Well, yes, that's true. I don't deny that.
Take it inside. By the way, all our boys have bumped into cactuses in New Mexico.
Oh yeah, my old dog Pickles. When we were in New Mexico, he like went headlong into a cactus, and we had to take him to a vet, get him like knocked out so they could pull him all out.
Mostly, what vets do in New Mexico is take needles out of dogs. I would guess.
Yeah,
they're probably pretty well trained in this. I feel like I have a lot more to tell you about the movie Field of Dreams and Noah.
I thought you said it was a League of Their Own.
Oh yeah, I keep getting the name wrong. So anyway, this was what a delightful conversation you're about to hear. That we
from
had
the
with,
jump.
From the jump, Jay Duplass, and it was interesting because we end up talking to him a lot about sometimes watching movies with your family is a vacation in its own right.
Yeah.
He directed a new one called Baltimorons, which is receiving fantastic reviews. It is kind of a side, what would you say, like not quite a Christmas movie, but happens on Christmas, so it technically is.
Yeah. The way that people say, yeah, that's a Christmas movie, you could say
it's
this
a Christmas
is a Christmas movie.
And I feel like we need some new Christmas movies, and this is one for everybody to enjoy.
Yeah. You also, maybe you know him from Transparent. He was on Transparent. He was on the Mindy Project. Yeah.
He's a wonderful guy, and he's got some great stories, and we hope you will enjoy them as you listen to them, which is going to happen right now.
Family chips with the Meyers brothers. Family chips with the Meyers brothers. Here we go.
Yeah.
Yes. How are you?
I've been doing 3 jobs and I just finished 2 of them, so I feel like I just got paroled.
Oh man.
Yeah. Does it?
But it has to feel like you're coming out the other side of it.
Yeah. I mean, it feels fucking great.
How many of those jobs were you like also the creative force behind, where you were like writing, directing that part?
One of the 2.
Yeah.
And that's the one where I lose the money, and then the other one is where I make the money.
Right.
I'm acting on this TV show in the Muskoka Lakes north of Toronto, which I didn't know anything about, but it's the woman, Megan Park, who made My Old Ass, that movie a couple years ago.
Great movie.
Yeah. It's cool. It's kind of like the TV show version of that. And then I just released a tiny movie, The Baltimorons, which original thing I've directed in 14 years, first one without Mark. So that was a big deal. And
Yeah.
I was the entire marketing and advertising campaign, just me going around to different cities, old school. So
I got to say, I watched the trailer for that, and I'm always sort of on the hunt for a new Christmas movie. I feel like I've seen...
Dude,
I've seen
That's great.
what's out there, and I have
Yeah.
like a list. And this just looks like it's bumping right to the top of my Christmas list for this Christmas, this holiday season.
I hope you enjoy. It's pretty cool. It's I didn't even think about that. It was mostly just like a backdrop for Baltimore because Baltimore is dark and scary, and like I just wanted like twinkly lights back there. So
Yeah.
it's
and
fun.
You have no roots in Baltimore. You saw The Wire, and you're like, I think that place deserves a Christmas movie.
Absolutely. I think I should go there with 15 people and walk around in the middle of the night with an expensive camera in my hand. No, the guy who it's a bit of a Sean Baker kind of like construction because I backed the movie into this guy's life. So the origin story of the movie it's actually about a Groundlings comedian, an ex-Groundlings comedian. So it's about a sketch comedian who fell on hard times and then figures out how to come back and do his thing. Yeah. It's cool. It's fun.
So when you say 2 jobs ended and this was one of them, were you doing marketing and advertising at that point while you were working on the other thing?
Yeah. I was like kind of flying back and forth from Toronto to different cities to do the theatrical sort of promotion. So, like I did the old school way where I went to Chicago and we showed it at the Music Box and did a Q&A and, did press with all those awesome Ebert people there.
Yeah.
So, it was fun. It was like,
I was going to say exhausting, but probably somewhat rewarding to watch the movie with people and then talk about it.
very rewarding, very like old school feeling, and it's when you see it, it's an old school kind of movie. It's it's like a adventure caper movie inside of Baltimore. It's a romance, but it's also a comedy about like sobriety and menopause, and it's it's just a very like old school movie with like new topics, and it has been amazing because it's also a tiny movie with no stars, and it went to 500 screens theatrically. So it's just like
That's amazing.
People have been like, this is what I want to see in a movie theater. It's just not there anymore. That's not what's happening theatrically.
Yeah, it's so
anymore.
rare to watch anything these days where you don't, after the first 5 minutes, you still don't know where it's going to go.
Oh, it's so true. And it's like, at best, I feel like what we get is like, okay, it's either going to go this way or this way at the end,
Right.
much less like, whoa, every turn is something different. So that was kind of the goal. And it was nice. It was like, people really loved it. It was cool to just like travel around and see people come into one room to watch something and stick around for a Q&A. That was amazing. So the whole thing was cool.
Because you and your brother obviously went into filmmaking together, were you the family that watched movies together? Like, were your
Yes.
parents? Okay.
Yes, we were, even though we are Catholic as well, like we had the 1-2 punch on Christmas where we went to mass and then we went to a movie right after,
Oh, yeah.
And, I mean, like that was the real church. The mass was for my mom, and the movie was for the rest of us.
Do you remember any Christmas Day movies that just knocked your socks off?
Oh, yeah. And one leads to a family trip.
Great.
Actually,
Well, take us there if you would.
1994. We go to mass. It was a particularly boring mass, and and on Christmas, of course, the load in and the load out is insane.
How do you drop the ball for Christmas Mass? We're not religious, but I feel like
Father
that's-
Ralph is how you drop the ball.
It's on Father Ralph.
It's on Father Ralph, whose nickname was Marble Mouth,
great.
because you couldn't understand a goddamn word he was saying.
Yeah.
And it was just, I feel so bad for my mom, because my mom's like the, Italian Catholic religious one who was just like, so it meant so much to her. And man, we just ripped Father Ralph incessantly after. But we went to Dumb and Dumber. We went to go see Dumb and Dumber.
hard
in the movie
hard
theater.
to compete with. No matter what Father Ralph did, he was going to be up against it.
Probably 500 seats, just fully packed. And it was, I really, I have to say, it was like a formative experience for me. I mean, even though I don't really make those movies, like it's like the amount of joy that was pumped into us over the course of an hour and 45 minutes with those laughs, just ruckus, just mind-blowing laughs.
Yeah. And
Mark and I have only recently come to terms with what this movie did to us. We after we got home, Mark and I decided, and I don't know how conscious it was, we gathered feeble camping equipment, like a tent and one sleeping bag and some granola bars was essentially it.
And you're from New Orleans, right? You're coming from
New Orleans. We're in New Orleans. We drove straight to Gatlinburg, Tennessee, which is the closest thing to a mountain that you can get in the South, right?
Yeah.
We drive to Gatlinburg, Tennessee, to a ski resort. I can't believe this actually happened. And we went camping in the mountains during winter. Like we parked at a trailhead. There was snow. We walked into the mountains and we set up a tent and we set up our sleeping bags and we almost fucking froze to death. That legit happened.
I mean, I think that movie was formative for a lot of people. I think you guys are the only two who used it as inspiration to go on an underthought camping trip.
Deeply underthought camping trip. It's like because they get trapped in the mountains and they go camping, and there's that whole joke where one of their hands is freezing and he's like, I got an extra pair of gloves. You want one? He's like, you had an extra pair of gloves the whole time? He's like, yeah, we're in the Rockies. We were literally trying to recreate the most painful moment of that whole movie, which was a farce, by the way, where if you actually experience those things in real life, you die. I mean, I really honestly haven't unpacked it yet. And I was like, I'm just not going to think about it too much. I'm just going to tell these guys that we did this idiotic fucking thing.
It's so great that you guys saw that movie and weren't like, we should make comedies. You were like, we should also be dumb guys.
We should be dumb. We should be dumb guys.
Oh my God.
Freezing to death in the woods for no reason whatsoever, for no good reason. We were literally holding on to each other and like shivering. I mean, it's really like when I think about it. Okay, so 94, I'm 21 and Mark is 18. We're not children.
No.
We are.
Right.
We should know better. I definitely should have known better.
You can't pin this on your parents at all. Like, if you guys get in the car, it's not their job to be like, don't go camping.
No, and, there was no cell phones. There was no, there wasn't anything. We didn't tell them where we were going. I mean, this is, that's how we grew up, right? It's like, you didn't need to tell your parents where you were going. We're just like, yeah, we're going somewhere. And then if we're not back and mom's going to be super upset, we'll call from a payphone at some point along the way. So we got out of there and I think we went over to Memphis and had some ribs and stayed in a deeply unsafe neighborhood.
How long do you think you were in the mountains for?
We were in that mountain probably for about 7 hours. I think we walked in at night at 10 p.m.
Yeah.
And I think we
Great
were
time
out
to
of
set
there.
up a tent.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Also, like, we just had like Oreos and shit with us. We were just like, and of course you start thinking the bears are coming for us. Of course, they were intelligently asleep and in a warm, safe place more than
It's
we
like,
were.
one, I've never had the instinct, we got to go camping. Two, I've certainly never had the instinct, we got to go camping right now.
Right now.
Like we don't have time to think.
Yeah, you know what? When you're saying that, you know what it made me realize? I think what we were just trying to do is like ride the insane high that we had from Dumb and Dumber. Like we were like,
Right.
we left the movie theater. It was like we were on heroin, basically. We were just like, so fired up, and we just wanted that adventure to keep going, you know?
Yeah.
And I guess we were just like, well, we just get in a car and we just keep it moving, you know?
It's hard. That thing of a hard comedy being in a, you know, an audience full of people.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think back to like, I mean, definitely like Wayne's World was a huge moment for me. It's so thrilling. Did you ever have
Doubly for you.
Yeah. Do you have kids?
I have kids, and it's interesting because I just told this story yesterday to a friend. I live in LA near Vidi. It's kind of it's a, you know, boutique movie theater, but it's like for dorks, you know. And last summer they showed Best in Show in the big theater. It's probably 400 seats, and I took my kids kicking and screaming because they don't want.
Right.
Every time I try and make them watch a movie, they're just like, it sucks, Dad. I know it was great for you, but we've moved on. Entertainment has moved on. It's not Deadpool. You know, that's my daughter. She's 17.
Yeah.
She's like, sorry, it's not Deadpool. And I'm like, okay.
She has a genre of film she's not interested in, which is not Deadpool.
Which is not Deadpool. Yeah, it's like, it used to be Marvel, and then Marvel not even good enough. It's just like, just Deadpool. Just Deadpool and all the Deadpools. So I brought them to Best in Show, and it's like I went back in time to how we grew up. It was a packed theater, and people were laughing so loud and so hard that we were missing jokes. I was upset because I have seen it 20 times, and I was just like, we're missing incredible jokes. Like, Michael McKean's talking. Everybody needs to buckle down on their laughter, you know. But my kids, it was pretty cool. They were, I guess last year they were 12 and 16. Their minds were blown. They had never had that experience of a fully packed hard comedy, laughs, just wall to wall laughs, and you know, investing emotionally too, you know, which is, I think, what Dumb and Dumber was for me. Is like they had my heart as well as like my inner 13-year-old, you know what I mean? So that was a super cool experience, and that's kind of like what I mean. That movie theater is doing, like, you know, it's doing like independent film releasing, but they do a lot of Calendar House, you know, re-releases, and man, it reminds me of like what I've always felt, which is like, you know, for $15, maybe $20 at most now, the bang for your buck is astounding. You know, it blows a sporting event out of the water in terms of what you pay and what you get. Same with like Disney is like so insanely expensive, you know.
Also, I always think like the alternative to sports is you have a good time. Like, you know what I mean? There's not one out. It's not this binary outcome that could like ruin your day.
I fully agree. It's a binary outcome, especially if you're like, I know there are some people who are like, you know, fine with whatever happens. I don't know those. I mean,
yeah, I don't think those. I don't want to know them.
I don't want to know. I know.
Why are they at a game?
Why are they at a game? I know.
Yeah.
I remember when the Saints played the Bears and we won our only Super Bowl, and or was it the NFC
Colts?
Championship?
Oh yeah, you beat
Maybe
the
it was
Bears.
the NFC Championship. Yeah. One of our Chicago friends, it might have been Ike Barinholtz, was like, "You want to come over and watch the game?" I was like, "No, dude, I can't."
Yeah,
I
that would be a very Ike thing to do.
I know. Ike seems like very at ease about the whole thing, and Mark and I were
he's
just like,
definitely not.
Yeah,
He's definitely not.
okay.
It speaks to his warmth as a friendship that he forgets that he will be unpleasant to be around.
Unpleasant to be around, and also that Mark and I we'll be having a traumatic experience no matter what happens, because the Saints are getting close to going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I was like, there's no way. I just told him straight up. I was like, I can't handle it. I'm like, you're a bigger man than I am. I can't fucking handle it. I don't want to go to your house and cry or break some of your shit or like celebrate too hard in a way that you don't want to be friends with me anymore.
Josh and I are Steelers fans, and we went to college together in the 95 Super Bowl. Where the
Did you guys grow up in Chicago or?
No, we were born there but grew up in New England. But our dad's from Pittsburgh. It's all very confusing.
Okay.
But I remember we watched the first half with like all our college friends, and the Steelers were losing, and we were just like, "We're out!" Like nobody did anything, nobody behaved badly, but we're just like, "Enough of of this."
There were no Cowboys fans among them.
Yeah.
It was like everyone would have been rooting for us.
It was just not. You're like, it was just this sense of like, none of you understand the magnitude of this.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
And what's going on inside of my body right now. And it's weird to be witnessed in like that vulnerable of a moment too, right?
Yeah.
It's just like they're just drinking and having snacks and you're like, you know, this is a life altering event. This is a pivot point in my life here.
It is like being Bruce Banner and being like, I'm definitely going to turn in the Hulk tonight. So
yes, that is, that's
so
very true.
You're not going to like me when football's on. Real quick, and then I'm going to let Josh take over. But I would say, I don't know if any of these movies are, I think our holiday movies, Posh, and maybe you can echo.
Go ahead.
Christmas Story.
Number one.
Yeah.
Great holiday. The Ref is a movie that was a Christmas movie we enjoyed.
The Ref is a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
It is a
definitely.
Christmas movie.
Yeah. And then it's a Thanksgiving movie, but of course, and the top of this list is Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, which I feel like maybe our boys are 9 and 7, our daughter's a little young, but I feel like that might be the year for this one.
That's a great win. That one for us is strictly Thanksgiving. Like I don't know, do they end up at Christmas or
No, it is Thanksgiving. You're right. Yeah.
Okay.
Totally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Die Hard is a big one for us. We wrap presents and watch Die Hard. That's like
fun.
a big thing for us.
How do you wrap presents while watching a movie? Do you not have gifts for other people that are watching, or does everyone stay in their own quadrant? And it's like,
everyone
don't look over
stays in
here.
their own quiet. We have also seen it so many times, you know, and nobody really wants to see him walk across glass. But yeah, it just kind of like gives you that, because you know, usually the morning of Christmas Eve, you're like desperately wrapping 50% of the gifts, you know, and it's just stressful and it's not fun anymore. So it's just like the adrenaline of Die Hard, I think, like puts you over the edge, you know,
Whatever it takes.
which is also incidentally a Christmas movie, right?
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
It's a great one.
Yeah, I haven't done Gremlins in a long time. I don't know if it holds up, but that's a Christmas movie as well that I feel like might be worth a revisit for me.
Yeah, I liked Gremlins a lot as a kid, and then, you know, it was getting pumped in over HBO like just incessantly, right? And there was a moment, and I don't know if you guys had this, where I started to get real grossed out by Gremlins, you know, because there's all that fucking liquid and shit. They're microwaving living beings, you know what I mean? There's just pus and blood and ooze. And I just had a moment where I was just like, I've had enough of fucking Gremlins. Like, I can't. I had to cut it off. And it was visceral. I remember Mark would be watching Gremlins. I'd walk through and I'd be like, oh, gross.
I like that the director Joe Dante would be like, you weren't supposed to watch it 50 times.
Truly.
Like it was like a 3-timer. We built it for people to watch it 3 times.
3-timer max. Yeah, I agree.
Hey, we're going to take a quick break and hear from some of our sponsors. Support comes from Uplift Desk. Hey, Poshy.
Hey, Sufi.
You got that Uplift Desk and you won't stop talking about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's uplifted everything in my life, I feel like. My work, I feel like I'm working more efficiently. I feel better. I've got more energy. It's just a better way. It's a better way to work.
I walked into your room, your office the other day when I was visiting you. I saw it. I was like, what the what?
Yeah. It's really nice.
It's beautiful. I kind of thought a standing desk would just be about the fact that it could go up and down, but this is also just a beautiful desk.
Yeah.
I will say I looked at it and I said, well, this probably took Poshy, 48, 72 hours to build. Is that accurate?
No.
Really?
I might have done it in under an hour.
So minutes. You would describe it in minutes, not hours.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty good with directions.
Are you saying that I would have to do it in hours?
Well, I think your Lego doing kids would probably
They'd
be
knock it out
helpful.
pretty fast.
Be helpful to have on the scene.
Transform your workspace and unlock your full potential with the all-new Uplift V3 standing desk. Go to upliftdesk.com/trips and use our code TRIPS to get 4 free accessories, free same-day shipping, free returns, and an industry-leading 15-year warranty that covers your entire desk, plus an extra discount off your entire order. That's upliftdesk.com/trips. And for this exclusive offer, it's only available through our link. Support comes from Blue Land. Hey, Poshy.
Hey, Sufi.
Hey, microplastics, Posh.
Yeah.
They're bad. And I know you want to live a life where you're not using them, but you might be using them without knowing it. Like if you're using detergent pods, you might, have microplastics all over your stuff.
Yeah, I don't want that.
All right, good news. Well, don't stress out about it because with Blue Land.
But if you're telling me you're going to send some of those to me,
No.
please don't.
I made the switch
microplastics.
to Blue Land, Posh, and I know you did too. And I just want you to know we're in the clear.
Oh, well, that's heartening.
Yeah, because Blue Land was named an EPA Safer Choice Partner of the Year. From cleaning sprays and toilet bowl cleaner to dishwasher and laundry detergent tablets, Blue Land's formulas are 100% microplastic free, made with certified clean ingredients from chlorine, bleach, and harsh chemicals that are safe to use around our family, your pets, and both of our plants. I love not having to choose between the safe option and what actually gets my house clean.
Blue Land is on a mission to make it easy for everyone to make sustainable choices. They believe that hard-working, clean products can be the norm, not the exception, so that you can do better for your family and the planet at the same time.
Also, toilet tablets. They're a real favorite in our family. They're proven to work on a range of stains, including rust, mineral deposits, limescale, and hard water. And guess what, Posh? Our number one stain is not either of those 4, but they just probably didn't want us to say it
Well,
on a podcast.
I bet they do that too.
Yeah, I think you all know what I'm talking about.
Blue Land has a special offer for listeners. Right now, get 15% off your first order by going to blueland.com/trips. You won't want to miss this. Blueland.com/trips for 15% off. That's blueland.com/trips to get 15% off.
Here we go.
Were your parents as gung-ho about the Saints as you and your brother were?
My parents have an interesting relationship with New Orleans in general, just because they just grew up there, and they love it and hate it. I think a lot of people feel that way about New Orleans because New Orleans is very in your face. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no chilling about New Orleans. It's like if you're not sucking crawfish heads and getting hammered every weekend, people are mad at you, And my dad was a marathoner and was a really healthy guy, and but also the Saints being a fan of the Saints is a very punishing experience. Yeah. We had the Bagheads and we had the Aints, and it broke, I think, my parents so many times that and Mark and me too. I think by the time they won the Super Bowl, it was just like a fucking relief more than a celebration. It was just kind of just got this monkey off of our back finally,
Would you ever travel for games? Did you ever go to another
Never
city?
traveled for games. Did record some games. And okay, so my dad is a huge LSU and Saints fan, and he has been known to record games, find out what the outcome is, and then watch the game.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
I mean, that protective mechanism where you're
good
just
for him.
I cannot suffer. And I even have it. I mean, I'm not from
I'm
LA,
there.
but you are.
I'm
You're
there with the Steelers. I'm fully. I have to.
You
protect
find the
myself now.
outcome and then you watch?
Or like over the course of it, like this last Sunday, like I was with my kids and did not like step away to watch the game and was kind of following, and it seemed like, I mean, they won, but then in the next day, like I'll watch like the 30-minute condensed game. But I will not. If they lose, I would not spend a second.
No.
Yeah,
lose,
I couldn't even
you look
watch
for the shortest
highlights.
condensed, just to know what your guys went through, right?
Just to be able to talk about it with other, degenerate Steeler fans.
Absolutely,
with a level of intelligence.
This is wild that you said this, because last night, we were having dinner. Our family, it's Jen and me and our 2 kids, Mimi and Sam, and we're having dinner, and the Dodgers are on. And I have slowly I've been in LA 20 years now, so I have slowly, resistantly warmed to rooting for the Dodgers, and New Orleans doesn't have a baseball team, so I realized the extent to my dysfunction around the Dodgers when the Dodgers finished batting for an inning, and I instinctively reached over and I turned the volume off and I dimmed the screen a little bit for when the Brewers were batting. And my
that was
daughter,
when something bad could happen.
Something bad could happen, and I needed the whole volume and the visuals. I needed the whole sensory experience to just come down. And Mimi was like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I just don't want to be. I don't want to deal with it." And she's like, "You don't want to be traumatized by?" And I was like, "Yeah, I don't want to be traumatized by if somebody. I don't want to hear the Brewers fans gloating if there's a hit. I can't. It's What is that? What is that?
It's just like we got rewired the wrong way. And
we got wired the wrong fucking way.
For those of you listening now, it was game 1 of the National League Championship Series, which the Dodgers almost gave up in the 9th. It was
we almost gave up. That was such a weird game and such a wild thing with that. We were basically an inch away from a grand slam. And that's not an exaggeration.
The first 8-6-2 double play in baseball history.
In baseball history. The fielder basically hit the ball with his glove. The ball fell, bounced off the wall, came infield, and then he caught it, and then there was a double play. But after I saw that, my nervous system was just Okay, so wait. So Josh, are you as into the Steelers as Seth is?
I am not as into. I've sort of. I feel like I'm a bit like Seth will read the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette and
I have a subscription to a newspaper in a city I don't live in.
Right. And if you want to drill down on the whole team and I couldn't name everyone on the team. Doesn't mean I don't love them, but Seth will get mad about things that I sort of am like, I don't even know what you're talking about, and I'm okay with that.
And do you guys get angry with yourselves?
Yes.
For the amount of personal, what is the word? Personal capital that you burn.
Yeah, well, I didn't get the ticket this year. I didn't get the Sunday ticket for the first time in ages. And it's
was
just
that a conscious decision on your part?
It was conscious, and it was also I'm traveling a lot, and I didn't think we were gonna be good this season. We have a very good record right now. I still don't. Yeah. I don't believe necessarily that we're as good as our record is, but time will tell.
Well, that division is so goddamn hard. It is it's unfair.
Not this year.
No, not this year.
Not weirdly, not this year, but in general.
I'm so embarrassed by the personal capital. It's one of those things where it's too embarrassing to tell your therapist. You know what I mean? Those things
because your therapist will buckle down on your ass right away.
I'd be and then I'll be mad at my therapist if they're like, well, let's not get caught up in that. I'm like, oh, you're one of them?
Let's not get caught up in excellence, shall we say?
You just going to the game to see what? Athletic fineness?
Yeah.
All right, Josh is going to get us back on track, but I
am.
enjoyed this.
So you drove to the woods with your brother on an ill-advised trip. What about your whole family going away? When you were growing up, would you guys take trips?
Yes, we did. Okay, so when you grow up in New Orleans, you go to the Florida Panhandle, and that's just what we did in the early days. It was like you go to the Florida Panhandle, you go to like Panama City or Destin, Florida, or one of these places, and you go for a long weekend, and you go to like a crab shack one night. You go to the beach the first day. You all burn so terribly, dangerously bad. You peel the next day, and then you hide inside, and then you go to the main strip and you get an airbrush t-shirt with your name on it and a guy holding a surfboard. That happened 20 times. 20 times. Nothing changed. Nothing was ever different. But the first time we ventured beyond that was the trip to Jamaica.
Great.
Which we call the Puke-A-Thon.
Oh, no.
So nobody has passports. Nobody's ever left the country before. We all get passports. And I think they had instituted a one-way flight from New Orleans to Jamaica. It must have been super close. It was probably like an hour and a half flight, right? And everybody's talking about how they're going to Jamaica. And, of course, my parents are like, well, we can go to Jamaica. Like, why can't we go to Jamaica? Everybody else is going to Jamaica. But there's definitely like a feeling of just like, well, Florida's great. Why don't we just go back to Florida? We could just do that, right? So we fly to Jamaica, and we get to the hotel, and it's raining hard. And the guy who checks us in says, don't worry, it never rains 2 days straight in Jamaica, right? So we're like, great. We're going to the restaurant. I had banana cream pie for dessert. I never had it. It was pretty damn exciting. And I wake up in the middle of the night just projectile vomiting banana cream pie. Ugh. Just painting the wall with banana cream pie. I've only had banana cream pie one time in my life. The association is so extreme. I can never.
I have that with not at this age. Not that I would, but flavored vodkas. It was a one and done for me.
Yes. Which flavor was it?
It was I feel it was like absolute citron. Let's just
citron.
Say.
Oh, that sounds
citron,
like absolutely.
It
right.
had a moment. It had a real moment.
Yes. It had a moment.
Yeah,
it did. Yeah. It did. Okay, so I puke. We wake up the next day. I'm nursing. I'm just puking. Can't stop. I think, and they think it's food poisoning from banana cream pie.
Right.
But,
you're in a resort, I'm guessing?
We're in a resort. It's like a Hilton kind of thing, okay. Wake up the next day. It's pouring, raining. Guy goes down. My dad goes downstairs. Guy says, never rains 3 days in a row in Jamaica. We're just playing board games. I'm isolated. I mean, but this is an old school, middle class vacation where it's all four of us in one hotel room, two queen beds.
Yeah,
of course, right?
That's how we rolled.
And of course, the next night, Mark wakes up in the middle of the night and projectile vomits.
Had he had any banana cream pie?
He had no banana cream pie.
Okay.
And so
the
if
banana
you've read
cream pie's off the
Encyclopedia
hook.
Brown, we know banana cream pie's off the hook. And what is on the hook is there's a virus in this room. And
you're on the hook, basically.
Yeah.
I'm on the hook. I may have brought, this virus from St. Clement of Rome Catholic School. And now it's like, how are we going to take care of, my parents are like, how are we going to take care of these two kids and not get sick? And it's one of those viruses. I'm still puking, and now Mark's puking. Let's not get into the gremlin-y, gory details of it. What ends up happening is my mom gets it the next night. Never rains 4 days straight in Jamaica. And on that night, my dad, I mean, to give you an idea, yeah, with the four of us are sharing a hotel room, you know, like we got a package deal. My dad starts looking into flights back to Jamaica and early because I'm
Back to
sure
New Orleans.
Back to New Orleans.
Yep.
We're gonna get out of here. There are no flights back. We're set to be there for a week, and I'm sure my dad's thinking like, if I go down, what's gonna happen? I mean, like then we're in like a where the doctors are coming, they're giving us stuff. We don't know what they're giving us. We don't know what's happening, but it's really devolving to, it's Puke-A-Thon. Yeah. It's just like we're fighting over the toilet. People are like fighting over who gets access to shit or puke in this toilet. You may have to cut this whole story.
In the interim, are you just like fetal position on the bed, or are you guys still trying to like play board games or just watch TV?
No, I mean, I was fetal, and then Mark became fetal, and then we're just watching movies, and we're just trying to keep it going.
Also, like watching movies in a hotel room in that era, not a wealth of options, right? This isn't like put on your iPad and like watch what you want to watch.
Unless there's like you pay those pay-per-view kind of things, whatever that was.
It was pre-pay-per-view. It was just whatever's coming over the pipe. And, as you guys know, back in the 80s, like HBO was just piping in, there was a lot of nudity. It was a lot of R-rated movies. We're watching just like hard, like Kramer versus Kramer, like a hard-hitting divorce drama. Like, it wasn't...
They say if you go to Jamaica, the two things you got to do, banana cream pie, Kramer versus Kramer in your hotel room.
If you're lucky, a little silk stockings at night.
Yeah. Seriously. No, yeah. It's like Red Shoe Diaries is on at night. It's just, but to your point, you're right. Like, you couldn't curate a good vibe. You know what I mean? It's just like, if Deliverance is on, you're watching Deliverance. That's what's happening. You just gotta take it. So, my dad can't get us a flight home. He confessed to us a few years ago that he actually looked into chartering a plane.
Wow.
Now, this would not have been a 747. This would have been a six-seater, like a pilot and the four of us.
Still, for a middle-class dad to be like, we might have to... Yeah,
we might have to charter a plane and fly internationally.
I thought you were going to say he looked into just getting a seat for him on a plane.
He's like, good news, bad news.
No one would have blamed him. But so my dad somehow did not get it and nursed us all back to health. We slowly came around, and then of course, as soon as we landed back in New Orleans, my dad just started barfing as soon as we touched down. Like, it's just like, there is something about a parent's will to just like not get anything. Like, it was clearly in him, and he was just like, nah, I'm not releasing the hounds. You know what I mean? Like, I will not. I gotta get my parents on terra firma. I mean, my kids on terra firma, and then I can, go to hell.
Would your dad like leave the hotel room for parts of the day and be like,
yeah.
He
went on runs during the day, and he also confessed that those runs were not safe. Because Kingston was like not super safe back then. But he was. He was like the kind of guy who was like, he had to get his 5 to 10 miles in every day, no matter what. But I think he was also just needed that space to like get away from.
It definitely, I would rather run 10 miles through a bad neighborhood than hang out in that hotel room.
Oh my God. Even people who don't run would prefer that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Have you ever been back to Jamaica?
I've never been back to Jamaica, and I can safely say I'll never go back to Jamaica. I mean, it's interesting. Like A really close friend of mine is from there, actually, and I have had a thought of just like, thank God he's already married, so I don't have to go to Jamaica and go to his wedding, because I just don't think I can handle it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When our oldest was a baby, he wasn't even 2. We went to Morocco.
Yeah.
And on the way back, we had 24 hours in Madrid, and I got hit with something. And so I've only been to Madrid once, and I literally never left. I was airport, hotel room, airport.
Yeah.
But I remember too saying like, I wonder what it was. And Alexi, my wife, was like, there are 7 things you ate in Morocco that this could be from.
Yes.
Like you took no precautions. You ate.
Yes.
You ate chicken,
You ate
like
all
from an
the street
outdoor
meat.
souk market. Like you ate.
100
They said this was pigeon pie, and you were like, when else am I going to try it? She's like, and it was bad. It was a real bad.
Could you
scene.
pinpoint what it was?
She again, like in my head, I still can't pinpoint what it was, but then it was a little bit. You know what? Looking back, then because our little one got sick too, so it might have been a thing where she was trying to pin it on the banana cream pie, and then time showed that it was it was actually not my fault, which is rarely the conclusion to arrive at.
God, that's all I want is just for it to not be my fault.
Hey, we're going to take a quick break and hear from some of our sponsors.
Support for family trips comes from Huel. Hey, Baji!
Hey, Sophie.
So we have a pretty busy morning at the old Meyers household. We got to feed 3 kids. We got to get it out the door. And they're all very particular about it. So particular that not a lot of thought is put into what Sophie's going to have for breakfast.
Yeah, I hear that.
And here's what I'm looking for. There's just 4 things I'm looking for.
What's that?
I want something that's 40 grams of protein, 6 grams of fiber, 27 essential vitamins and minerals. I would prefer no added sugar. I would like it gluten-free. This is more than 4 things. Under $3 per meal and ready in 60 seconds.
Yeah, it seems like that's not even possible.
Well, it is possible thanks to Huel. I have a blueberry shake, and let me just tell you, I loved it. Felt like I had more energy than I usually have. And also, I got to, just have breakfast, which I just don't.
Yeah. I mean, time is a luxury. Time is,
Oh my God. Sometimes you get so poetic on the ad reads.
Don't have a lot of time. Has that better or worse?
That was great. Huel was developed by registered nutritionists and dietitians, 42 vitamins, minerals, and superfoods, only 25 calories, 4 grams of fiber, 1 gram of sugar.
It's just handy. If you're traveling and you're like, where am I going to get all my nutrients? Where am I going to get my protein? How am I going to get my day started off right? Huel is going to be there for you. Busy schedules, Huel makes it all possible.
Yeah, Huel makes healthy eating simple. They also just launched into Target stores nationwide. Try both products today with 15% off your purchase for new customers with our exclusive code TRIPS at www.huel.com/trips. Use our code, fill out the post-checkout survey to help support the show. Support comes from Laundry Sauce. Hi, Pashi.
Hi, Sufi.
What do you think about laundry sauce?
I think it's fantastic.
I'm so happy to hear that because that's what I feel.
Yeah. I mean, one of the nice things about clean laundry is how it smells.
100%.
And laundry sauce has these just like terrific, wonderful smells. I feel like there's like a sandalwood. Ooh. There's some like Siberian pine. And that's really the one. I lean on that Siberian pine.
And, Josh and I went to college together, and if I could just speak to the college students for a moment, here's the great thing about laundry sauce. No more lugging giant jugs up 5 flights of stairs. And parents, no more emergency store runs in the middle of everything else you're juggling. Just get the signature package. It makes it easy to stay stocked, stay fresh, and never settle for smelling meh. Now, Posh, we went to college before laundry sauce was an option. Do you feel like there were days I smelled meh?
Yeah, even worse than meh.
Yeah, I was going to say meh might have been my ceiling.
I feel like you might have done laundry, but maybe you didn't put in any detergent.
Yeah.
You were just smushing them around in some water is going to do the trick, isn't it?
Yeah, I was sans sauce.
You were definitely sans sauce. I mean, this isn't laundry sauce. It's not just detergent. It's a whole setup. They have ultra concentrated pods, scent boosters, dryer sheets, and fabric conditioner, all designed to work together, smell amazing, and show up at your door before you realize you're out.
So for a limited time only, our listeners get 20% off your entire order when you use code TRIPS at laundrysauce.com. That's 20% off at laundrysauce.com with promo code TRIPS. After checkout, they'll ask where you heard about them. Don't forget to drop our name. Lock in your subscription to stay stocked and step into the season smelling and feeling like you got it all together.
Here we go.
Did you ever travel internationally again as a family, or was it like, let's just stick with Florida after that?
Much later, we went to Cancun, which is a very similar foray.
Similar roll of the dice, certainly.
It is a similar roll of the dice, but the only puking that was done on that was Mark and me from going to Senior Frogs.
I was gonna say Senior Frogs. I've been to that Senior Frogs.
Yeah, that was all on us.
Did you get a shot glass that you wore around your neck like a necklace?
I cannot remember, but I definitely bought merch. And I am
Do you still
not
have it?
proud
Do you
of
still rock your Frogs
yeah.
merch?
I mean, yeah. No,
What I
think
really wish you had is this series of 20 airbrush.
Oh God, I wish I had the series of 20 airbrush. My mom was definitely that person that would just like go through your drawers and throw things away that she didn't want her friends seeing you wearing.
Right. Yeah.
So that shit went astray. I mean, the only other really adventurous vacation we took was this is nuts that I'm saying this right now. I'm just realizing there's a pattern here with us, me and Mark going to the mountains after Dumb and Dumber, which that movie would be like, yeah, don't do that. It's going to go bad. We went to the Grand Canyon. We drove a brown station wagon to the Grand Canyon. Probably, what year was National Lampoon's Family Vacation?
80.
Mid-80s.
I would say
late
86. If I was guessing, I'd say it.
Okay. So definitely within a year or two of that,
83.
83. Okay. So probably 86, 87, we drove from New Orleans all the way to the Grand Canyon in a brown station wagon, almost to tempt fate in a weird way. Like, because that vacation was a freaking nightmare, and ends with, Chevy Chase pulling a gun on John Candy. But we did that vacation, and it was 3 weeks. It was a gargantuan trip. And I think we were all, by the time we got to the Grand Canyon, you're halfway done. I think we were all cooked. We were like, why are we doing this? And I haven't talked to my dad about it, but I'm sure in his mind, he was like, should I just sell this car in Phoenix and we fly home? Because we were freaking done. Mark and I were like fighting a lot in the back seat, and I do remember this, they resorted to bribes. We would get like a nickel every hour if we would shut the fuck up. And I'm pretty sure those words were used. If you shut the fuck up for 1 hour. And Mark and I, we also, I'm remembering now, we developed our own language that we wrote down on paper so that we could communicate behind their backs. And as a parent now, what I realize is like, that was a joy to my parents to not have to listen to what we were saying.
Oh, yes.
I'm sure they were thrilled.
Yeah,
to like
it's easy to tune out a language you don't speak.
Absolutely. That's right. I'm trying to think if there was anything crazy that happened on that trip. I don't know, but
I'm just nostalgic for a day where I could get my kids to shut the fuck up for 5 cents an hour.
Oh,
I mean, like
God.
today, that way you talked about, I think I'd be down like $2,000.
$2,000
just for the
easy.
silence.
But
Oh yeah,
worth
totally.
it?
Oh, I'd pay
I
$2,000
know.
for them. Yeah.
Oh, totally worth it. I mean, just to experience the power trip of like of just like coming over the top.
It would be like people see me walking in my car. It like looks like I'm going to a strip club because I just got like a stack of ones. And I'm like, oh no, man, I just chuck these in the back seat.
yeah, just keep throwing them back. The one thing that we did discuss, I mean, two things come to mind on that trip is Mark and I thought that our station wagon sucked because it didn't have wood paneling. It was just a big dark brown metal, space shuttle of a vehicle that we called the Mule because it just hauled everything. And the other thing that I remember from that trip is that the last stop, and this is super interesting, like to me at least, maybe to nobody else, but the last stop was Houston, which is, kind of like a nothing going on city. And we stayed at a hotel that was attached to the Houston Galleria, which was one of those first big indoor malls, right?
Yeah.
And this mall was enormous, like 3 stories, like front to back was probably a half a mile long. And we stayed in this hotel, and it was every man for himself after that. It was just like, you just do whatever the hell you want. And this is back in a time where you'd let like a 13-year-old and a 10-year-old like wander around a mall by themselves, which is insane to me now. But, everyone was just released upon their own recognizance. And we had 2 days at that mall, and we all had the best time ever. We still had dinner together. We had dinner together, and every once in a while we'd see each other in the mall. It was like, what's up? You know what I mean? You might like see somebody at Sparrow, and by somebody I mean someone you're related to. And Mark and I did some stuff together. We'd go to record stores together. We'd go to a movie. We'd do stuff, but we did stuff separately too. And that became our vacation from then on out until Mark and I went to college. Is we would, and it was a vacation entirely based on defense. It was like, we get in the car in New Orleans. The drive to Houston is 5 hours. We leave after traffic. We get there. We all post up. Anybody can do whatever the hell they want. That is what the Duplass family vacation became. Is just like laissez-faire. Like, you can do whatever you want. The only thing that's expected is we go to a restaurant at 6 p.m. in the mall, and everybody can show up. And it was kind of incredible because...
So now the first time you ended the trip at Houston, there was no expectation that this was going to be a forever vacation. So at what point on the first mall vacation did everybody collectively decide this is it?
The first day, it was, we're going to go to Astroworld, right? That was the plan. It was going to be that whole thing where you have your activities planned. And I think Mark and I came to my dad and we're like, did you buy the tickets yet? Which is hilarious because my children would never care about whether I had already pre-purchased tickets. I mean, I feel like our generation was just very conscious of the family money. You know what I mean? What is being spent.
Absolutely. What things cost.
What things cost are huge. Like, there was always like a like a pregame in the parking lot of wherever you were going to go. Even if you went to Chuck E. Cheese, it was just like, okay, this is what we got. You get $10. That's it. And like, if you don't have to spend it all, don't spend it all. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. So we went to my dad and we were like, did you buy the tickets to Astroworld yet? And he's like, no, we're going to wait in line. And Mark and I were like, can we just do nothing? Can we just stay and not go? And like, I can still remember the smile on my dad's face when he realized that he was being released from he didn't want to go to Astroworld. Oh. That's his goddamn nightmare. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so my mom realized that she could go shopping in the mall. My dad realized like he could just do whatever the hell he wanted, and Mark and I could too. I think after that moment, like something was born. Which was freedom. You know what I mean? It's like because I'm curious because you guys are doing this podcast, I think what probably a lot of the stories of just like vacations gone wrong comes from the forced march. And the Jim Gaffigan does it so well in his Disney bit. He has that 4 minutes on Disney, right?
Yeah.
Where he's like, it was either this or send you to college, It's like where the desire and the need to have a peak experience is at a fever fucking pitch. And so sometimes you get it, and sometimes you get the opposite. You get the Jamaica Puke-A-Thon,
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was so devastating for my parents to have spent so much money on Jamaica and for it to have just become like, just this awful experience. I'm just kind of curious because we turned that corner there. We were like, we are not forcing anybody to do anything anymore. Vacations are now about sitting around and just having food together, and people can do whatever they want. I'm just kind of curious what you guys have learned in doing this.
Well, my one question I have is when did you turn the corner on the Jamaica story being like a funny family story that you enjoyed talking about?
It took about a year because it
but
was
that's pretty
so
good.
traumatic. It was pretty good. It was pretty good because I think we probably went right back to Florida. I'm pretty sure we went right back to Florida. And when we got there, when we realized everything was going to be okay, we started ripping on Jamaica and
Right.
we had to villainize Jamaica, right? You know what I mean? As if this like island paradise is somehow this like, island of Dr. Moreau now, we villainized it, and then we started just laughing about just how horrific the whole thing was.
Well, that's where you get your money back. That's the investment coming back.
Yeah. And we've told that story so many times. I mean, it's,
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's interesting. I feel like, ultimately, like the one consistent thing is like it ultimately doesn't matter where you go, but nobody's ever said in all this, right, Posh? Like no one's ever been like, and then our trip to Disney was the most memorable trip we ever took. Like we did all the rides.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's not.
I mean,
that
I
doesn't stick.
remember, like for us, I know we went to Disney, but Busch Gardens was a bigger deal because there was a hurricane and I got left behind, and like that, I'll always remember Busch Gardens more.
When you got left behind.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. And it's just you two.
I think there's also like, I think one of the issues with like Disney is as soon as you do it, everybody else has done it. Like there's nothing unique.
Right.
Like nobody wants to hear your story about like what Space Mountain was like to you.
That's true.
Kids on the playground, I think it has some cachet there.
Right.
Otherwise, it's like, okay, man.
But it's more the FOMO of not being the kid to do. You feel bad if you haven't done it, but you don't feel that good if you have.
That's very true. It's only like a negative impact, basically.
Well, that was the thing. I remember the first time because I feel like we went to Disney later than most of our friend group, and so I very much remember the end of Space Mountain being like, huh. That was it.
Well, that tracks for you in general.
Yeah, that did not change my life in the way.
Yeah.
I am not an astronaut. You're telling me I'm not an astronaut. I'm not going straight to NASA.
Did I believe I was in space or on a mountain? And I have one before we let you go, like because I have it's family trip ish because another thing we have in common, or you and I, is that we went to college, and I think then our younger brothers followed us to the same school.
Yes, yeah.
So
that's true.
how many grades behind was your brother?
Mark was 4 grades behind.
Oh, so you weren't there at the same
years.
time.
We were there.
Did he get held back?
I did an extra year where I was like, okay, I'm going to do movies now. And he was there freshman year. But I also lived in Austin the whole time he was in college because I was like, I just thought I was going to be a broke artist, distributing my art on my front lawn, which is what people in Austin were doing in the 90s. And we were in bands at that time together. So we were very much just like doing our Duplass Brothers thing from the minute he got there.
What do you think that like pretty early on in high school he knew he would go where you were? Yeah.
Okay. There was because it was like basically if I had a long weekend, I would try to go home to New Orleans, and if he had a long weekend, he would fly. You could fly on Southwest Airlines for like $65 round trip. It was unbelievable. This is when Southwest was more of like a Spirit Air kind of vibe, you know? So he would come on a long weekend, or if he had a week off, he'd just come to Austin. And, you know, it was a cool time. It was Austin in the early 90s. So it was, you know, it was like the hotbed of white boy funk.
Yep.
Which we were doing. Apologies.
This
to
is before
everybody.
it went. This is before it went. You know, nationwide.
Absolutely. There's only one band that ever pulled it off, and that was the Red Hot Chili Peppers. And then it was also like the hotbed of DIY filmmaking at the time, because Richard Linklater was there and Robert Rodriguez had just made El Mariachi, and you know, there were just two guys who you know, wore T-shirts and were walking around town and had made movies for $20,000, and so it felt pretty special. And Mark was definitely just like, I'm just more than anything. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying the same thing for, I think, comedy in Chicago when we were there, which was the 90s as well. Is that you were just like, oh, hey, that's like, you know, you'd see like a young Tina Fey who would then like the next year be on SNL, and you're like, oh, like, this is a place where you are where the next thing happens.
The next thing happens, yeah. And how long were you in Chicago before you went to New York?
Well, we both had a weird path because we both moved to Amsterdam for this comedy theater called Boom Chicago. That's where we met Ike.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so it was Chicago guys who started a sort of Second City type theater in Amsterdam. But
Seth lived in Chicago for a year and a half after school.
Not even a full year. Yeah.
But he used to, you know, he was in Chicago. I was at Northwestern, which is up in Evanston, and he'd come up and have lunch with me once a week.
Yeah, we still hung out all the time.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
That's
really
very
sweet.
we're very lucky to have siblings that we both love
that we
and
like
collaborating with.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
You really know you can, like, it's I'm always surprised when the ones collaborate and then you find out they didn't like each other. You're like, woof.
I know.
I don't know how you did that.
I know. It's really yeah, I mean, but it is part of that immigrant mentality, I think, too, which is just like two heads, you know, and even though I hate your guts, like you got my back and like we're going to get stuff done. I mean, Mark and I definitely had to have like a little bit of a breakup in terms of like, you know, because we originally like very lockstep, like arm in arm, we're going to make movies like the Coen brothers. And we did that for a while. And then, you know, it kind of took us a long time to figure out that I really want to make movies and Mark, or I really want to direct movies, and Mark is really more into like producing and acting, you know, so.
That's good to know that. And it's nice that it's not a flat overlap, like I think.
Yeah, and it unburdened us a lot, but it was like a hard breakup in a way, you know, it was like hard to figure out what was happening and what would happen. And, you know, the DGA made us like have almost like a ceremony where we broke up because they're very fixated on directing partner
so this
teams.
is the Directors Guild will basically, if you co-direct, they then just start treating you like one director forever.
Yes, you have to like promise that you'll only do that, and then if you break up, they're like, you'll never direct together again. And we're like, this feels punitive. We're just trying to like support each other doing the shit that we want to do.
Also, we're brothers, so is there not a loophole?
I feel like it. You know, I feel like a similar thing is always in the air for like the Lonely Island guys or whatnot. And I think like the rule should be like, if you met your co-director before you were 18, you can just go in and out.
That's a great.
That's Ike
Barinholtz
and Dave Stassen as well.
Yeah, anybody. If you were like, if you were siblings, or you, you know, but like at some point you got to be like, we're different. It's weird.
Like, we're different. It's weird. Yeah.
By the way, you can't have met in LA. Like I think that's like so.
That's not real, and that's not going to last. We know that. That's been proven. I mean. Yeah, it is. Do you guys ever go to a party and by yourself without your brother, and people see you and they're like, "Hey, where's your brother?"
I think less so.
We also like look. We like are more similar in appearance as you guys.
Yes.
And so it's more that like if I'm in LA at a party, a lot of people will just assume I'm Josh and vice versa. If Josh,
that's interesting.
Because we also like, you know. We haven't actually lived in the same place for like 2 decades.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's wild. Yeah, I definitely get a lot of that.
Yeah, I would
I
imagine.
have to like vie for myself and be like, I'm actually a whole full person, and it's gonna be fine, everybody.
This is fantastic, Jay. What a delight to talk to you.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having me, you guys.
Baltimorons.
You guys are fun.
Is available for people to watch and
Yeah,
enjoy.
it's on VOD
certified,
now. It's
certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes.
92%, baby, going strong.
Love it.
You know, because they say reviews don't matter, but also they do, and they're really nice to read when they're good.
Yeah, they do when they're good.
Yeah, and especially when somebody, you know, I feel like a lot of reviewers are like, you know, they're good writers who like movies, and when they write thoughtfully about something you did and you realize they got it, it's a great feeling.
Yeah, I love it. I love critics because I generally have good critical reviews, and if I didn't, I wouldn't love critics. That's really what it comes down to.
They say that's how most people land on how they feel about
exactly.
critics.
Yeah.
All right, before we let you go, Josh, is some speed round questions.
All right, here we go. Speed round. What's the favorite funk band name of a band that you were in with your brother?
Thunder Chicken.
You can only pick one of these. Is your ideal vacation relaxing, adventurous, or educational?
Relaxing.
What is your favorite means of transportation?
Electric bicycle.
If you could take a vacation with any family, alive or dead, real or fictional, other than your own family, what family would you like to take a vacation with?
National Lampoon's Family Vacation.
There you
Great.
go, Griswolds. If you had to be stranded
Griswolds.
on a desert island with one member of your family, who would it be?
Wow. That is a tricky one. I feel like I need to say my wife.
That's okay.
All right. She'll love the way you phrase that.
Yeah.
It'll mean the world to her.
But probably my 13-year-old son, because the entertainment value would never end. I mean, he's just 60 pounds of full blast entertainment at all times.
Yeah.
Great. You are from New Orleans. If you were the head of the Board of Tourism in New Orleans, pitch that city to get people to come visit real quick.
This isn't a fun pitch, but it's a genuine pitch that I do, which is it is a more fun Vegas. It's the best 3-day weekend vacation. It's a more fun than Vegas. It's there's actually things to do other than gamble and get, and eat and overeat. You can overeat. That's one of the things you can do. But it's just like a beautiful cultural place where you can have a great 3-day weekend. And I highly recommend it. You don't need a car. You don't need anything. You just go there.
Great.
Right,
I also
great.
can't imagine 3 nights in Vegas, but I can.
Oh,
imagine
yeah.
yeah.
Well, I feel like Vegas has an evolution. Like first time you go for 3 days. And now if one of us were to go to Vegas, it's because we're, it's a layover. That's the only reason
Right.
I would ever be in Vegas now.
I used to do stand up more in Vegas, and I think the last time I did it, I'm like, can I get a red eye? Can I fly in the day of, finish my show, and get back to the airport in time to get home?
Seriously?
And you probably can. They probably have
can.
those flights.
I'm sure it flies nonstop to everywhere in the world at this point.
Right.
Yeah. And then Seth has our final questions, which we kind of know.
Yeah, the question was, have you been to the Grand Canyon? Yes, you have. And the follow-up was it worth it? And I feel like that's also maybe a no. A yes and a no.
At the age of 13, I think it was a no.
Yeah.
I think I was just like, I don't even know what this is. This means nothing to me. But I have
to the
gone
mall.
back. I have gone back, and it is worth it. It is.
All right.
Oh, great.
We will take
Unbelievable.
the amendment. Great talking to you.
Thanks
Great
so
talking
much.
to you
This is
guys.
awesome.
Thanks for
I
having
hate
me.
to
You
ask
guys are
this now
wonderful.
after you said, but where is your brother?
I don't know. I am not my brother's keeper.
not know.
I mean,
Yeah.
look, it's you're sort of known. The Duplass brothers are a thing. You're known as that, but it's you have had this little breakup, and
And I just want to say, Transparent is such a, I know it's a way back, but it's such a fantastic
thank
show.
you.
fabulous.
Appreciate
And then
that.
you just directed
Thank
this movie on your own, so
we
you're
can't
your own person.
Yeah.
I'm my own person. Go see for sure.
Yeah.
See if you can validate me online. I'll be reading.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, guys.
Really appreciate
Take
it.
care.
This is great. Thanks,
Yeah,
Jake.
wonderful. Appreciate it, y'all.
Family trips.